Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian.
Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. Welcome to the Tour Power Hour. We are back from Tour Travels, an amazing week and a half in French Lick, Indiana. Made our way through Mississippi, through Kentucky, throughout several other states to find ourselves in Indiana playing some incredible golf. We have a really fun video that we will show you guys at least once or twice tonight. Just some of the cool things that we saw, some things that we did. Really cool trip. We're also going to officially announce Tour Travels 2025. Absolutely huge, super exciting. And more importantly, we kick off the 2024 summer season on the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. We are getting closer and closer to the playoffs, to the South Texas Match Play Challenge, and our team completely coming together. Super excited about that. Maybe talk a little bit about some golf stuff, golf equipment. As you can see below here, I saw this morning, had to get it. I want to show some pictures. I posted on our page as well. But lots to talk about, lots to dive into. Before we do that, let's go ahead and bring in Travis Salkowski. Welcome.
What's up, everybody? Hopping around back and forth. I'm gonna bump in and out a couple times tonight. A lot going on tonight. What's up, MD? Welcome back. Tour Travels 24 in the books. I almost said Tour Travels 25 there. I was just working on some graphics and some marketing stuff for Tour Travels 2025, which we are going to officially launch and release tonight. More info to come on all of that. But as MD stated just a second ago, it is summer season kickoff. 3 days, 12 and a half hours from now, 8 o'clock shotgun start. Over 130 golfers at Northern Hills to start the summer season. You know what, MD?
What?
Those 130 golfers are T1 right now.
Congratulations to all participants on being T1 going into the weekend.
Woo! Point standings reset. It's going to be a cool show. I'm anxious and super excited to see the highlight reel from Tour Travels.
I have two highlight reels. I have one that I had to shorten to 2.5 minutes. I did make another one just with all the pictures, video. It was like 8.5 minutes. So we're going to get the 2.5.
Okay. And we'll still post the 8.5 on the Facebook page so they can see the whole thing?
We will certainly try.
Okay.
Before we do that, I do want to bring on our co-host for the evening. I believe it's pronounced Micah Carroll. No, Micah Carroll.
Micah Carroll.
Glad to see you got your keys and you are in your truck.
That's kind
I'm not in my truck. I'm in the Jeep, but good try.
I try.
You are coming live from a vehicle.
I am. I'm in a vehicle.
Welcome back.
Where you're
Mike.
sleeping tonight.
That's such a weird question. Wow. Micah Carroll, we can't wait to dive into all of your travel happenstances that happened on the way home. From French Lick,
Came on the way to French Lick because I thought it was a great drive. I had a
And
good time.
Deering French Lick. I mean, I've got stories from all three
Yeah.
sides.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to hear all of these stories. Thank you for joining us tonight. The co-hostess with the mostest, Micah Carroll, on a Wednesday
Hey.
evening. Woo!
Woo!
Agreed.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. Well, Micah, let's talk a little bit about the tour that travels, the traveling tour, if you will.
Okay.
Talk to us about your experience on the drive to French Lick. Talk about your experiences in between, in all the golf, and about your experience in ride home.
So,
How was your tour travels experience?
previous tour travels, I have not driven because, as everybody's well aware, my back is no bueno. And so,
And you get car sick.
sitting and I get car sick. That's a very good point, which will be a part of this whole story here in a minute. So I was hesitant to go on this road trip with somebody else driving, but when I knew we were going to play Fallen Oak and Mossy Oak and Sultan's Run, I was like, I don't care if I throw up the whole trip. I'm going. Let's go. Let's do it. And boy, was it worth it, because we ad hoc'd the Preserve at the very beginning on Saturday. Oh my goodness, what a course that was. Followed it up with Fallen Oak on Sunday. Amazing course. And then Mossy Oak on Monday was just, who knew that they were related to the Mossy Oak hunting brand?
I know.
What
I
a-
certainly didn't. Hey, Micah, before we go further down this rabbit hole, let's give everybody watching and everybody that's going to watch it later kind of the fill in on what Tour Travels is for those people that don't know. I know we've talked about it a bunch, but for those watching that don't know what Tour Travels is, it is essentially its own tour division. We have the Alamo City Golf Trail division. We have the Greater Hill Country division. We have the professional division, and we have Tour Travels. It is basically a week to 10-day long tour event in a different part of the country, whether it was French Lick this year or Kohler the previous years. We've been to Paco Ridge and Albuquerque. This was a return trip to Fallen Oak for some of the guys. There was some smaller Tour Travels stuff there. We've been all over the place.
Torrey
And-
Pines.
Absolutely. Torrey Pines, north and south, up in Reno, Tahoe, lots of trips to Vegas. So
Colorado.
Tour Travels is a week-long golf trip for 20 to 28 players, guests, what have you. I hate the word customer in this scenario. I feel like it generalizes, right? And Tour Travels cannot be generalized. It is the
It's not
epitome
as
of-
intimate.
Yeah, exactly. And anywhere, right around 20 guests went this year to French Lick, Indiana. And of those 20 guests, 14 guests chose to do stuff before, during, or after, kind of as a la carte options on the front end or back end of the trip.
So
So,
I'll have you know that my flight cancellations and delays was not a part of that back end doing something.
Why don't you get
Moving
closer to the camera?
listen, he was just
I'm just-
stressing.
I'm
He was
being
just
stressed.
stressing.
Like, your pupils are dilated.
What?
So, Tour Travels 2024 was May 29th through June 2nd in French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana, the Pete Dye Golf Course, ranked number 18 in the country on the Golf Digest list. Accompanying that was the Donald Ross course at French Lick in the second 100, and a sister property called Sultan's Run that 15 of the 20 got to play. And 12.
Prize round at the Preserve
Yes, 12
at 8.
cars played at Mossy Oak the day before everything, before Tour Travels kicked off. And then 9 people played at Fallen Oak the day before that. And those 9 also got the biggest surprise. In my opinion, I thought it was phenomenal. You don't just roll
100%.
You don't just
Huge
roll into a
surprise.
golf course on a Friday afternoon and say, hey, we're just looking for a place to play. We just rolled into town, got an awesome deal. 9 of us could walk right on, and it was peer. I mean, it was awesome. That was the Preserve in Biloxi, Mississippi. So Tour Travels
Number
2024 was officially
Number
in
2
French
course in
Guiana,
Mississippi.
and 9 guests started that as a road trip, and 5 more joined along the way, and 20 guests participated in this year's Tour Travels to French Lick. And that is just a little precursor of some information about what Tour Travels is. There's Golf Genius the whole week. The tour sets up all of the programming, reservations, a la carte options, all of the everything. It's basically an all-inclusive travel agency for the Tour Travels division. And there's live scoring, and there's side games, and there's a trip winner, which with MD's rain withdrawal, it shook up the leaderboard a little bit. I think that's awesome. I can't wait to share those screenshots later.
I think I still won net even not playing for 2 rounds.
Well,
3 rounds. Doesn't matter.
No.
Like if you want to call my rain, if you want to call it rain disqualification, that's fine. I
call
smoked
it disqualification.
every single
I wanna
person.
call it withdrawing, same as me.
Okay, that's fine. As long as we can all agree that if I hadn't withdrawn, we wouldn't have been able to let someone else have a chance to win because y'all were getting just your asses handed.
I want you to know that you played phenomenal and made me play better every swing, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And
I think
there's
10 rounds of golf, I was
things
plus 20 over.
Yeah.
I hope you feel like you're better than everybody else now. Okay, moving on.
Tour Travels
feel
was
that way.
awesome. Micah Carroll, back to you.
I forgot where I was.
So start right over. I cut you off early.
Okay. Start right over. Look, the Preserve was the bitch. I mean, number 2 course in Mississippi.
Really cool it was.
I mean, just a gorgeous addition to the trip. And total surprise. I'm glad we ad hoc'd and decided to play on Saturday when we got there. It was really cool.
We were scheduled to just have a practice session, which would have been awesome because the weather was
Which would have been
perfect, and it would have been
You
fine.
know what? I suppose we should give Bird props for finding the Preserve. He's the one that found it. So
Bird gave himself enough props in the text chain.
That is fact.
not
and-
online.
And to be honest, I thought that was going to be your first and only round of the entire trip because you managed to hit like 20 range balls and get warmed up. And then Micah's first tee shot of the day, he dropped to his knees in bang from his back. I thought he was going to die.
Well, I thought that place was phenomenal. And
It was
Preserve
phenomenal.
was
the
top-notch.
Preserve in Biloxi, Mississippi is a must play.
Mm.
And I'll tell you what, for those of you that know me, I love Fallen Oak. Just
Yes.
outside of Biloxi, Mississippi. It's a casino property, the Beau Rivage, which is an MGM property.
Love the Rivage.
And
Dream rewards. Whoop, whoop.
yeah, heck yeah. I mean, basically a carbon copy of the Bellagio. Identical building structure. That went through some fact checking as well. That came from Jason Bird, but they look identical. Man, they're like the rumor on the street was that the Beau Rivage in Biloxi was supposed to be called the Bellagio, but the hotel in Vegas was just cooler, so they took that one. But for those of you that know me, you know that I absolutely love Fallen Oak. And
Best practice facility around.
right, and I had to get talked in to not going to practice at Fallen Oak. And I had to get talked into the preserve. And on my recap sheet on the way home in the text thread, I put it as my biggest surprise.
Yeah.
The customer service was amazing.
that
And do you want to know what this is going to
we
be?
had the course to ourselves.
We had the course to ourselves. They answered on the first ring. They accommodated a party of 9 on the fly, and everybody was flipping nice.
They were
Everybody
so
was
friendly.
so friendly, and we had just all 3 vehicles, right? No, 3 vehicles.
Two
Two
vehicles.
vehicles. Just 7 of us.
Was it 3?
Oh, there was 3.
It was just 7 of us. It was just 7 of us.
7 on the first day.
Yeah.
And to accommodate us on the fly may not be the easiest thing to do operationally in the golf business. You roll
Especially
in
on a Saturday.
it was a Saturday afternoon.
Friday.
It was Saturday afternoon.
Saturday.
We roll in.
Oh.
There's 2 vehicles and there's 7 dudes who just spent 10 hours in the car
10 hours.
on the first day of a 10-day golf trip. Could you imagine pulling into that parking lot and the chaos that can just pursued right there? It was just like, y'all make fun of me for exploding, but it was freaking chaos.
Well, you have to get everyone's bags are in travel bags. You got to get those out of the
Right,
car.
and
You got to
the-
get that
and
set.
the vehicles
You lost your driver head.
The vehicles
Yeah.
are packed the best they could possibly be. It was the first
Mhm.
day of the trip, and every vehicle, there were
That was the best they were packed all week.
Luggage was ratchet strapped, and there was cargo nets, and all of that stuff had to be undone. And now all of a sudden you don't need practice clothes. You need an extra set of golf clothes all of a sudden, and you got to find golf shoes. And my driver head was broken down for traveling, and the friendly as all could be cart staff misplaced my driver's head. So there was a 4-minute moment at the preserve where my life was over.
Travis's trip was ruined before
It was done. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what tees can I play from where I can compete with 3-wood for the next 10 days? You know, that's what I was
I was sure you were going to go find a Dick's Sporting Goods and be like, I just need a friggin' smoke driver.
Well, I could have made something up until French Lick, and Ian could have gotten me ahead.
Ian probably could have sent you something, yeah.
I would have had a head by Wednesday at check-in at French Lick. But
Or
I
we would have figured something
yeah, I would have figured something out. Could have used a fitting cart head or whatever, whatever it was. But there was definitely a moment of panic there for me, like, yeah.
Oh, I know. I was getting my stuff out of the truck, and you're just frantically tearing your truck apart trying to find it.
And it was when I unloaded everything, I put the driver head on top of the golf bag. And the friendly as all can be cart staff took my driver head and put it in my ball pocket. Maybe it fell off when they put the bag. Who knows what happened? But they picked it up and put it in my ball pocket. But that is definitely not where I put it.
Yeah.
But the preserve definitely goes down as the biggest surprise. It really set a really cool tone.
It really did.
Yep.
Like
Agreed.
that Twilight Golf out there, it was just, the Twilight Golf, the course was empty. It was really cool green complexes, really cool holes. Like, it was just such a random,
grass.
like,
Very nice
place to roll into. Oh, it was perfection.
If you are looking for a quick golf trip or a quick weekend getaway, you can fly into Gulfport from San Antonio or Austin on United or American, and it's a 1.5-hour flight, and the Beau Rivage is 20 minutes from Biloxi Gulfport Airport, and the preserve is 15 minutes away, and Fallen Oak is 15 minutes away,
and Shell Landing is 15 minutes away, and Grand Bear is 15 minutes away, and I think that town's got
you
some
and I-
golf props.
Dude, you and I talked about it the other day. We're like, I mean, let's figure out the next month where we don't have something going on, and let's go take a quick 2-dayer back to the Beau Rivage, like for our third time this year, and let's go play the Preserve Tour twice. Let's go play Fallen Oak twice, and make it like a quick 2-day trip.
That'd be awesome.
And they always take care of us there. The Beau Rivage takes care of us every time. They always give us a good deal. Always take care of us. The food's amazing. Like I tagged you in that thing this morning. I was like, oh, they got a new restaurant there. I guess we need to go back and try it. So,
And then
pretty-
Mossy Oak,
pretty
after
good.
those two courses, that was a difficult course, and it wasn't so. I guess it was just the top. The fairways were thin. I mean, it's wide open, right? You could.
This
see
is
the entire-
this is Mossy Oak Golf Club in West
Yeah.
Point, Mississippi, 3.5 hours north of the Gulf Coast. It is a sister property to Old Waverly, which you may or may not have seen on the Golf Channel this week. The women are playing there, I believe, right now, or this past weekend. I believe the women were playing there.
Past weekend.
And 2 golf courses on this. I'm going to use the word resort. It really wasn't a resort. It was a high-end daily fee golf course. And as Micah said earlier in the podcast, Mossy Oak Golf Club is owned by the Mossy Oak camouflage people. Same logo, same town. Golf course literally bordered the distribution warehouse, Micah, would you call that?
Yep.
That's what it is. Yes.
So that was really cool.
I had no clue until we pulled in and Danoski was like, well, that logo is pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
really
it
cool
was great.
property, really neat, really good condition, and definitely worth it. Top 100 golf course on the Public Golf Digest list, and just happened to be on our way from Biloxi to Louisville.
Yeah. That was fun. And then next
Sultan's
up was
Run.
Sultan's Run.
Was awesome.
Woo.
That
I mean,
that
what is
that's
that?
when the fairways
Oh,
started to get a little bit tighter, and the courses
So,
started to get a
that's
little bit
number one.
longer.
Number
16
one.
guests
Public
of the 20 played Tour Travels at Sultan's Run the day before Tour Travels officially started.
Right. Tuesday. Yep.
What are y'all's thoughts on Sultan's Run in Jasper, Indiana?
which held the women's US was
What event did they hold last year?
I don't remember, but I mean, Sultan's Run is.
They
I
held-
mean, lots of
Sultan's
crazy.
Run held the 2023 Senior LPGA Championship.
And Scotty's absolutely correct. The best $50 golf course on the planet. Like, stupid good for 50,
Yeah.
$60.
this is a daily
Um,
public golf course.
Like,
Number one public golf
course
course
was-
in Indiana, right?
I mean,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
that I
what was the
don't know.
question?
Number one golf course in Indiana, public golf course in Indiana.
Officially number 3 on the list behind the 2 French Lake properties.
Oh. Okay.
I mean,
it would certainly be
So-
considered the number 1.
Somebody there said they were the number one, but okay.
Maybe they use the word daily fee, municipal, something like that.
I mean, it would definitely. I would definitely say it's the third behind the other
Yeah.
two, in my opinion. But
Listen,
at the
there's-
same time,
there's
I
a
mean,
there's a lot of people nationally that rank Sultan's Run really high on lists that include dollar. If your criteria list includes green fee, Sultan's Run's way up there. Like Sultan's Run
for the
is
money,
ranked
it's
number 4 on Golf Pass.
yeah. I mean, for the money, you're not going to get
Not
anything
just in
better.
Indiana, but like number 4.
Yeah, For the money, you're not going to get a better round of golf. And the cool thing is, it's so inexpensive that you can play it a shit ton of times and play it from different tee boxes, and you're going to get a different golf course and a completely different experience. And I mean, that course was sick. I mean, we played it 2.5 times, and it was awesome.
Yep. Really impressed with that course.
My favorite day was that Tuesday. My favorite day was that
Playing.
We were there a
played
long time.
18
I mean, we hung out there forever.
So
I mean, it was.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I love practicing and I love warming up. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we
I
were
love
there
those
for
two
12
things.
plus hours.
And
Once I learned the strictness of the operational golf realm at Sultan's Run, it is a phenomenal property. Really cool golf course. Really good driving range. The putting green is okay. It's maybe felt
fine.
like
The
an
chipping
afterthought,
area
like
was
they had to
fine.
put it somewhere, so they put it there.
Yeah.
And the chipping area was fine. They got a ton of rain before we were there, so like the fairway areas of the chipping practice facility weren't cut as low as they could have been. Blah blah blah. But listen, it was phenomenal property, and my personal favorite day of Tour Travels 2024.
I mean, I think that 9 holes that you and I played on too. So we played 18 that morning. Some of us, so the hotel was 3 minutes away. So some of us went back to the hotel. Some of us went to go eat. Some of us went to go, play an additional 18. I had pretty much called it a day. Travis called me at like 5 o'clock, and he's like, and I'm at the hotel. He's at the course. He's been there practicing. Like, I was there in like 3 minutes. We went out.
I'll walk you through my day in a second, MD. When you're done, yeah.
But I mean, that 9 holes that you and I played might have been some of the most fun because we were just having a fun 9-hole match play event with some wacky rules and stuff like that, and we just had a good time. Like, that was such a chill night. And again, another golf course that no one was on in the afternoon, minus an 8-some that looked like a bunch of tools to me. But, I mean, they're part of our group, so I can't really.
Jason Bird, welcome to the show.
Good to see you're alive, friend.
I'm alive.
How you feeling?
Terrible.
Well, thank you for joining us. Your presence is always welcomed and inspiring.
just
When
wanted to
were
tell
you
everyone
gonna?
that
When
you-
were you gonna let me know you were sick, Jason?
You were last on the list. I got 50 other people to go through.
I spent my last hours and your last hours before the show together. You and I. So you'd think I'd be pretty close to the top of the list.
I hosted training sessions at work yesterday, so I was in front of 80 coworkers and 10 vendors last night at dinner, and that's always been fun. Been like, hey, we had a great time, but BT dubs, I woke up with violent COVID.
It's like calling someone saying, "Hey, you should get tested."
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a much better call than me. I'd rather call them.
yeah,
saying
me
you should
too.
Get tested
Sure. Yeah.
for COVID.
So we are talking Sultan's Run. We are talking Tuesday before official Tour Travel starts, and 15 of the 20 Tour Travels guests played that day at Sultan's Run. We teed off just after 8 a.m. The weather was mint.
Here,
The golf course was the best
here.
course conditions for a $65 green fee I have ever seen in my entire golf career.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We always joke that in spring in the Midwest, it rains so much that if you can't grow grass in the Midwest, you shouldn't be working in the golf business. And when you were at French Lick and Sultan's Run and in Louisville driving up
Birds are
and
on mute.
all of that good stuff, it was so green and there was so much grass. It was just awesome. And that Tuesday, 15 of us played at Sultan's Run.
my personal favorite day, right? I had an hour and a half practice session. The golf course really set well to my eye, minus the first hole. I hit a tree on the box on the first hole. It was right there. It was dumb. But other than that, the course really set to my game. We finished. Everybody hung out. It was a cool bullshit get together kind of casual day. It wasn't really a Tour Travels day, so there was no paperwork or reconciliation in Golf Genius or checking scorecards or getting the next round's paperwork together. There was none of that. And we all hung out. A couple people ate. A couple people left to go to Louisville. A couple people sat down and said, "Hey, I'm gonna play again. Who wants to play with me?" And 7 other people stood up and they played and ate some. And I think Micah was a part of that.
I was.
And I said, "No, I'm not going to play." And I went back to the hotel and showered. And I'm on my phone and I'm hungry. And I'm from Wisconsin and live in San Antonio. So when you can't imagine my joy when I realized there was a Culver's 1 minute from the hotel. So I got out of the shower. I went to Culver's. I had cheese curds and a milkshake and got in the car from Culver's and started my golf routine up again. Hey, what's up, little girl? How are you? Thank you
Say
for
hi.
coming on and joining us.
You say hi. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Oh,
so
say
I left
hello.
Culver's and started my my golf routine. I went to Starbucks. I got coffee. I went back to Sultan's Run, and it's like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And my goal was to meet Micah on the back nine. But I learned there were 8 of them, and I'm like, I want no part of that shit show. So I practiced for like an hour and a half, and I called MD at like 6:30 and said, "Hey, come play 9 holes with me." And we were on the tee box 5 minutes later, playing 9 holes at Sultan's Run, and we were playing match play. And if you won the hole, you got to do something stupid on the next hole. Like MD won the first hole. And the second hole was a par 3, and we did 7 woods from the red tees. You know, stupid stuff like that. And then one hole we played all the way with woods only, and one hole was 9-iron only. Just dumb stuff that you just don't normally get to do. We played 9 holes like that in like 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And MD's like, "I'm going back to the hotel. It's 8 o'clock. And the sun doesn't set for another hour and a half. And I went back to the short game area and practiced for another hour. I mean, that was like my perfect day before Tour Travels. It was
Just so you know, the eightsome that I was a part of, we played another 18 holes in less than 4 hours. So it was a lot of fun. We had a blast.
So if you are ever in the southern Indiana, Louisville area, Sultan's Run is the best value in public golf that I have ever seen.
Yeah,
I
100%.
can't.
It's a $300 round in Texas.
Yeah, easy.
Yes, if Sultan's Run were alongside Torrey Pines, Sultan's Run would be a $375 golf course.
And I mean, Jasper's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Nowhere.
But I will say, like, Vince and Casey found a really cool bar. Like, one of my favorite parts of Tour Travels is when Casey meets the love of his life at least once a trip. Like, I'm in love with her, I'm going to marry her kind of thing. And it's amazing.
Moving to Colorado or
Talking about moving to Colorado, I'm moving to this, I'm moving to that. He always meets the one.
I
And,
remember in Albuquerque.
He always meets the one. And they ended up at this local bar. It's a Tuesday. They ended up at this local bar that had like live music and stuff like that. Like after I finished up playing with you, speak of the devil. It's the first time I brought on Casey, and he chimed in right there.
Casey jumps on randomly 30 minutes into it, and we're randomly talking to him about him.
But got to go have snaps in Jasper, Indiana. But we got to go, I sat there with them for a while. Like I got back to the hotel and I was committed to like calling it a night. And then Casey threw out the invite and I'm like, no one's responding. I'm like, I'm going to go. I'll go hang out. So I hung out with him and Vince for a while. Travis came out for a little bit. That was that same night.
We went to the bar that day.
We went to the bar that night.
Better.
Yeah, it was great bar, great atmosphere. Like they had the entire bar. You could go into. They don't do it anymore because they ran out of space. But on the walls everywhere are mugs, big beer mugs, and that you can buy it. And they put a label on it with your name and stuff like that. So for locals who come in, like, hey, I want my drink, they grab your own mug off the wall. You could do it if you were they did it for people traveling and stuff like that as well, but they don't do it anymore. But just a really cool little bar in the middle of the town and stuff like that. It was really chill. Like I liked it a lot. It was a good find by Casey.
I really liked Jasper. I really liked downtown French Lick. I mean, listen, I'm from Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan.
40,000 people when I was there, and Jasper felt like Sheboygan Falls. It felt the same. The buildings looked the same.
I made the exact same comment when I was driving with the guys to the golf course. I was like, this kind of reminds me of like little Sheboygan.
Yes, heck yeah.
I was like, it was awesome. I mean, just awesome. And we're not even at French Lick yet.
Yes, yet Tour Travels hasn't even started technically.
We haven't started yet.
I think that Jasper was missing one thing.
Casino?
Sheboygan Sevens were nowhere to be found.
Jasper Sixes, though. We found a Jasper Six for Casey. She's a middle school principal. Married with kids.
I'm glad there was another word after middle school.
I'm glad the word principal came there.
Yeah.
I missed this. I did not see this interaction. But Jasper,
I didn't see her either, but
Jasper was really cool. I really liked it.
Casey's moving there in at least a month.
And that brings us to French Lick.
French Lick, Wednesday to Sunday. We did get a little rain down the stretch. Tour Travels rounds have never officially been rained out.
We didn't get rained out.
The round on Saturday morning did not complete. Some golfers may have completed, but the round was unable to be completed.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, due to the deluge of rain. What Bird was the last group, and they made it to 15 or 16.
It's something like that, yeah.
I don't know.
And then the last day it rained in the morning a little bit as well, and only 8 or 10 people played, and a couple people took off early, which proved to maybe be a good decision because ladies and gentlemen, we know you're all watching to hear the debacle that was Micah's trip home. So we're getting there. I promise. Stay tuned. We are almost there. It is currently Wednesday at French Lick, and it's check-in, and the hotel is awesome. I loved the hotel. I loved the historical, that the first thing they did there was sell that bottled water as like a health healing tonic. I loved. Yes, it was 15. Okay, thank you, Greg Keogh. So yes, that morning round on Saturday got washed out. Some people finished. More power to you. It's awesome.
It was so much fun. We started getting poured on 15, and we were just like, no, we're pushing through it, and we did, and it was a blast.
I agree with that, Scott Williams. It had that 1920s brick middle school feeling. There's middle school coming up again. Yeah.
Ignore me playing in the rain.
He pulled in the comment. He pulled in the comment. I had to keep the show progressing.
In the rain. What a
Part of me wanting you to dump the bottle of water over your head for dramatic effect.
I'm playing in the rain. Okay.
Onward and forward. Yeah, Casey tipped the caddy a little extra for staying in the ring. Yeah, no shit. Because that caddy's like, what the fuck?
I did the same thing.
He's like, I don't want to be out here.
French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana. 2 hotels, food and beverage, customer service. Know what you know going into it, but the food quality was phenomenal. I loved the spa at the hotel. It was great.
Just don't ask them to split checks.
Yeah, splitting checks for our party proved to be a little difficult on opening night, but we got through it and it was okay. And that other hotel,
Sinclair's did a better job.
yes, and that hotel, the West Baden Hotel at French Lick, Indiana Resort, was phenomenally beautiful. This big dome. I wouldn't even know how to describe it, Micah.
Taj Mahal.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a dome-shaped circular hotel. Every room faced the middle. Faced the middle. And it was this big glass open dome. We'll pull up some pictures later. I think there will be a picture in one of the slideshows. I definitely took some
and that's
pictures
what
of
you
it.
see. That's what you see on their website is that hotel. That's their main marketing photo as far as the hotel amenities go.
And they had the casino, and they had a nice little town across the street that had some restaurants. If you didn't want
Sabrina
to,
just forwarded me a picture. I'm going to send it to you, MD, of that hotel. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Jeff Wern, the new AI smoke. It's not really new AI smoke. We can talk about that later. There's just a new one, and I got it coming. So
Mr. Bird.
Oh, Bird's back.
Mr. Carroll.
Okay,
You play the piano?
Just a skin flute, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
Are you on Epstein's Island? What is that? Where are you?
Picture sent to you, MD, of that.
Oh, great. I love working on the fly.
What did we send a picture of? What's happening?
I
What's
sent
the topic
MD a
of
picture. We were
conversation?
talking about the West Baden Hotel, and
Oh, I did not go
Sabrina
there.
took a really cool photo of it.
I did not go there.
It's a phenomenal place. Restaurants there were great. Maybe a
The West
little quieter than the Springs Hotel that we were in, which had the casino attached to us, which is why we chose that one.
Less
Yes,
traffic.
we
There it is.
specifically chose that.
That's the other hotel at French Lick. All of the rooms face that center dome, and it was really neat.
Did
Yes.
not go there.
Did not go there. I was at the casino
okay.
or the bowling alley.
And a pizzeria. And hidden
Pizza was
passages
kinda trash.
and secrets.
Lots of hidden passages. Lots of hidden
Staircases back in the corner where you could disappear at. Yeah, for sure.
I liked the little shop. I mean, I got an ice cream cone every single day at the shop. The
I'm
ladies
sorry.
there
I'm
knew
sorry.
me.
Scott Williams wants me to say that 500 men built the West Baden Hotel brick by brick in 277 days. And that other hotel was definitely the more
Boo Jay.
pinky
I
up.
definitely there's definitely lots of marble and gold finish,
It was
It was a neat place. I like
and
that.
it smelled like sulfur the entire time.
Yes.
Who doesn't want
that's
that?
the tonic water that they bottled and sold as America's greatest laxative.
Yes, the whole thing was built on sulfur springs. That's what the whole spa's about.
Yes.
But you
So-
definitely can smell it.
the first attraction at French Lick Resort was bathing in the bathhouse in that sulfur mineral water.
And they still offer that service, which I
Yeah.
did. It
Did
was
you
great.
really?
You did the Pluto bath in the spa.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Did you take pictures?
Ugh.
I didn't have any clothes on, Travis.
Well, that's why I asked.
Ooh.
But it was a detoxifying experience, and I mean, it was amazing. It really was amazing.
I went to the spa a couple times, and
Where can I go to get toxified?
I just daily life, brah.
Yeah.
Right now.
toxic.
Right now, that's what's
There-
going on.
So
Just
much
hang out with
toxic stuff in
yourself,
there.
and you're good.
Exactly. Right.
Damn.
I'm just gonna go on the San Antonio golfers page on Facebook and get toxified.
I'm glad to see that Micah got his keys in his truck. That was a whole ordeal.
So
Yeah, it was.
So two
We haven't
golf
gotten there yet.
courses, two hotels, tons of stuff to do. There's a casino, always something to do. Those of you that are waiting for the debacle that was Micah's travel trip home, we're almost there.
We're getting
almost
to that.
there.
We're leading up to it.
Yeah, we're crescendoing to Micah's.
I
goal.
am an integral
Edging to
part
it.
of this story.
Fantastic.
I'm-
So
Are you though?
everybody's checked
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Always something to do at French Lick. That
Mhm.
the time there went so fast. Casinos, 24 hours, always slots
I-
to play, table games.
I
close to
accidentally
3.
sat down for 7 hours at a blackjack table on Saturday.
I mean, always something to do.
Kinda
Like
scared.
MD said, there was a bowling alley. There were 3 or 4 swimming pools just in our hotel. I have no idea what was in the other hotel. There was an indoor go-kart track, mini golf. There was an indoor water park down the road. There was always something to do for every guest. All the time.
9-hole golf course.
There was a 9-hole golf course practice facility that you
The
could go
Valley
to all the
Links.
time. Tons of that historical tour stuff, which I enjoy. So I hung out in the garden a little bit, and checked out some of that history on the sulfur springs, and I definitely
with Colonel
got
Sanders.
the Scott Williams Shining vibe a little bit. Really cool.
Like there were twins on
And so
Little
many
Bikes right now.
times I couldn't find a parking spot, but then I walked into the hotel and there was nobody anywhere. But there was no parking. And it seemed like it should be packed, but there was nobody. It was really cool. I really liked it. And the 2 golf courses on French Lick Resort property, the Pete Dye Golf Course and the Donald Ross Golf Course, are both phenomenally pure properties. I made light of some customer service stuff a little bit before, but the customer service at the golf courses was great.
really good.
I agree.
And the golf properties, the golf assets, the practice facility at the Dye course, the golf carts at both golf courses, they were different golf carts. I thought
Yeah,
they
it's
were both
electric.
good. The caddy was great that I had, was awesome.
GPS was kinda
Kyle was cool.
The Pete Dye golf course is the hardest golf course with the smallest greens on the planet.
And the longest.
Not
It-
longer than Rain Dance.
It is the 5th longest golf course in the country these days. It used to be the longest golf course.
Rain Dance was easier.
Rain Dance, when you played 3 tee boxes up, it was easier, for sure.
How long is Rain
Comparatively
Dance from
from
the tip?
I did not play it from the back. Jason Bird can compare Rain Dance length to Pete Dye golf club length. I did not play it back. I didn't
You
get
played
that.
it back
I
at
was
Rain
deep-
Dance, but you didn't at.
I did at Rain Dance. I played the back at Rain Dance, and I didn't think
You played
Rain
the
Dance
purples
was-
at Rain Dance.
No, he
I
played.
played the back
the
of
backs.
every back tee box except the third hole. I couldn't make the carry on the third hole. So that's
Okay.
why I played up there. But other than that, Casey and I played right foot rough at Rain Dance that day. And I didn't
Yeah.
think Rain Dance was long. I mean, we were at 6,000 elevation.
It plays
Every
like
tee shot was
78.
downhill.
But you know what? It doesn't feel as difficult because the fairways are just so much wider.
The fairways at Rain Dance National in northern Denver at 8,400 yards is the longest golf course in the continental United States. And French Lick felt on the Dye course at French Lick, it felt like every tee shot was uphill except number 11.
One's downhill.
On the Dye course or the Donald Ross course?
Every tee shot on the Donald Ross course is downhill, with every second shot being uphill.
That
That-
definitely felt true for sure.
That is a very classic design style from that era. Tee shots down, and then second shots,
14 was downhill.
up a wall.
There's not very many though. You are correct.
and it felt like every tee shot on the Pete Dye course was
uphill. Felt like everyone was up.
1 and 2 are downhill to start with. 3's downhill the fairway, uphill back to the Green.
One was the biggest downhill.
4's downhill.
2 is not downhill.
2's downhill to that runoff, and then you go back uphill to the green. If you hit the
Okay,
tee,
well, there were some that were downhill and there were some that were uphill. Let's all just agree to that.
Yeah.
I definitely agree about the wind with
Listen,
Scott.
again,
It felt like-
I
it
played
felt like
that-
the Sky course
I played that
wind.
course 3 tee boxes up from where you played. So every tee shot that I hit at the Pete Dye course was uphill. Everyone. Except
No,
the
that
first-
may be true.
yeah. At least that's the way it
And
felt.
we still played it from 7,300 yards, roughly, with the wind and with the elevations and stuff. Like the guy even was like, just add 300, 400 yards. Whatever tee box you're playing from, add that.
I was excited that it got rained out because I could catch up on some work stuff, but I would have loved to play it back. It was really short. But I didn't get a chance to play it. So Bird, tell us.
Compare Rain Dance tips to the tips at Pete Dye.
Rain Dance has like way wider fairways, for sure. I mean, Pete Dye course hard, but overall, I didn't think the rough was that penal. So being in the rough wasn't so bad. You may not make as many birdies, but you still, if you made an intelligent decision, we're going to make par. Then again, I was getting up and down from everywhere. I wasn't feeling great. I think I shot like 81 from back there, which felt awesome. I made par from the 300-yard par 3, which felt even more awesome. It's a difficult course for sure. It's very long. Definitely plays longer into the wind. It's beautiful. I call it Pete Dye's greatest hits. He's just so many, like, I wouldn't call them cookie cutter holes, but there's a lot of holes that get inspiration from other Pete Dye courses I played in the past. 17 that par 3 or 16 that par 3 or that long par 3 is just like number 8 at Meadow Valleys, except the water's on the right instead of the left. Number 1 at Pete Dye is like Meadow Valley's number 9, except the water's on the left, not the right. Very similar holes. There was a par 5 that was a lot like 15 at Canyons here in San Antonio. So there was just a lot of Pete Dye in every single hole. Like you just knew he did that course.
Tons of stuff you couldn't see. The best
Yes.
areas to be,
you couldn't see off the tee.
Right. And so the two best par fives I've ever played, I think, are 3 and 5 around the rim of the ridge, or 3 and 18. And then the 18 tee shot was an absolute mind fuck for me because that dude's like, hey, aim at the road. And I'm like, what? And of course, I aimed at it, pulled it left because my body didn't believe him, and I was dead. He was like, I told you.
Really, really, really cool golf properties at French Lick Resort. Micah, I want you to give us your kind of rundown of the golf courses. We played Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and then took off. Micah, give us your rundown of the golf courses and your experience, and then take us through how you got home. And then we're going to play the video montage. And then we'll come back after the video montage. We'll talk about Northern Hills for just a second and what's coming up. And then we'll wrap. We talked about Sultan Run for an hour. So, Micah,
I mean, I don't have much to add to what you guys said about Donald Ross course and Pete Dye course. I mean, I just think that both of them were beautiful in such different ways, right? The Donald Ross course felt more green, darker, greener, thicker grass, trees, and then the Pete Dye course was more wide open link style, right? So then Pete Dye obviously had some well-placed bunkers off of all the tee shots. If you had a hard enough time hitting the fairway to begin with, and then if you do hit the fairway, but then you hit it too far or you hit it too short, you're in a fairway bunker. He did that a lot on several holes. It made it way more difficult as far as your tee shots go. So, but if you were fortunate enough to be in the fairway, you had a pretty good shot at the green. So
I played the Donald Ross course from 7,200 yards, and I played the Pete Dye course from 7,100 yards and change. I thought the Donald Ross course was a more difficult golf course.
It's because of the par threes.
The second shots on the Donald Ross course are 6-iron, 5-iron, straight uphill to a green that's rolling 13 that you can't hold.
And every single par 3 is over 240 on the Donald Ross course.
But that's just
I think everybody's got their preference, and everybody's everybody has a different eye, and I felt like that I matched well with the Donald Ross course, which I think is why I played so well on it. All the times that we played, shot twice in the 70s, but I think the Pete Dye course, I think what made it more difficult than it should have been or could have been is the wind, right? We had more wind at the Pete Dye when we played the Pete Dye than we did when we were playing Donald Ross. So that makes right. Anybody?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm thinking
yes.
my facts right there. But
I thought the Donald Ross greens were bigger and more forgiving because he did a lot more bowling and everything kind of kicks towards the flag. The Pete Dye course, if you're on the wrong tier of the green, you were fucked.
We got a ridiculously difficult hole location set on the Dye course. It was
our caddy told us that the minute he saw number 2. He's like, oh, it's one of those days. That's exactly what he told us.
But French Lick Resort, awesome place, French Lick, Indiana. 2 top 100 golf courses, Sultan Run right around the corner, maybe the best value in golf. Micah Carroll, the day is now Sunday. It's raining in the morning. You're playing the Donald Ross course with your buddies, Mike Sherman, JT Sherman, and Darren Leinhart. And the round is coming to a close. The weather blew away, and it's getting close to packing up and checking out.
Man, I think for one, it was a bittersweet feeling of having to leave a golf trip, and then all of a sudden you get to the airport, and I've had a lot of trouble with American Airlines in the past 12 months, so much so that I've stopped really flying with them. And then Bird and I get there, and let's see, where were you, Bird? You were somewhere. Where were you? I don't know. Whenever I got the notification the flight was canceled.
I was in the shitter.
Oh yeah. And then I said something out loud, and then the lady across from me, she looked at me with these big old eyeballs, and her mouth dropped open. She goes, "What?" She was just in shock. I'm like, "Yeah, our flight just got canceled." And then that's when it all started. It was just, at first I didn't want to believe it was because of weather. Just because
we saw the plane pull away from the gate, and it was like, that's weird.
Right.
And then like 10
That's
minutes
what
later,
we were
like
thinking.
flight canceled. I was like, what?
It was maintenance at first. We're like, yeah. And then they said it was weather. We're like, no.
I believe that's just a cop out, so they didn't have to comp us. I think it was really maintenance, but then they had a thunderstorm warning in Dallas and shut the airport down. Like, oh, this is a great excuse to fuck over the customer.
They took advantage.
Because that plane
of the
pulled
coincidence.
away from the gate 10 minutes prior, and then they finally said cancel, and they were able to use weather as an excuse.
So flight gets canceled.
Jason and I were just we're both on our phones, and he gets frustrated with his phone. He pulls out his laptop and he starts doing this thing on his laptop, and I'm like on my phone, and we both figure out what we're gonna do. I already booked my flight on my phone, and Jason I don't think had figured out what he was gonna do yet. So then he goes and gets in line and talks to this agent, and he's like, and I go with him.
That's because it wouldn't let me change my flight.
Oh yeah,
it said I had to go see the gate agent. I was like, well, that's fucking annoying.
Yeah. So we went up there together, and we decided, well, there's not too many flights available, so we took the afternoon 2:34 flight, I believe it was, and of course they're not going to pay for a hotel because it's quote unquote weather related. So we got a hotel. I'm going to throw this in here. I normally stay at Hampton Inns, and good old Jason talks me into this Truth place, and I felt like I was staying the night in a kindergartner's classroom. It was awful. It was awful.
I thought it was awesome. The bed was brand new. It was comfortable. It was great.
I had an office chair for a chair that had wheels on it. That's what they gave me to sit in.
I had two chairs and a table with my office chair. It was awesome.
Oh, well, okay.
Why did you need an office chair? Just lay in your bed.
There were not bed bugs in my bed either.
Sometimes I don't like to just lay in the bed. Anyway, the bed was falling apart. I mean, it was just not what I'm used to. It was not a cozy room. It was not
like a brand new hotel.
So
you two should travel together.
At least the hotel manager when we got there was way more hospitable than the French League people.
She for sure. She wanted to.
So you get to a hotel. It's Sunday night. Flight canceled. Both rebooked.
We get up. We make it to our flight, and what was the other thing that we wanted to add? Oh, there were other flights flying out, but ours was canceled.
Yes.
Right?
There was 2 other flights from Louisville to Dallas that happened, but ours was canceled for weather.
It was just anyway. So then we get to Dallas, right? Thank you, Lord.
By the hair of our chin.
Yes. And I mean, it was this flight. It was the bumpiest ride I've ever been on. I mean,
the pilot's like, "Hey, we got to land, and we have to go right through the thunderstorm to do it." I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great."
I mean, I think I left my seat once or twice. It was brutal. It was brutal. But we got there, and then he gets on the intercom. He's like, "Okay, folks, that'll be the last of that ride, I think." I mean, it was just like, oh my goodness. And everybody's like, woo, He
definitely said that. We definitely got through the thunderstorm, made the left turn into Dallas. He definitely came back on there because I think that's the end of that.
Wow.
And then what happens when we get to Dallas? We both get delayed again. And I mean, Jason finally got out probably about 2 hours before I did.
6:30, baby.
I was supposed to take off before him. It was just it was a nightmare. And then once I finally got back, I forgot the part about my keys. I had no idea where my keys were. And my keys
That was a
to my
saga
truck,
throughout the entire time.
which was at Austin Airport, which is 2 hours away from my house, and I had no idea where my keys was. So I didn't know what I was going to do. Luckily, MD found my keys, and he was going to play a trick on me and write some kind of riddle about, where my keys were. So I'd have to look for them for 30 minutes to an hour when I got there. But he didn't do that, which I kind of was looking forward to. But it was
a nice
fine.
guy.
Yeah. Finally got back around midnight and got home.
My flight out of Dallas, they were like, hey, we're going to have to take off through this thunderstorm. And I was like, what the hell are these people doing? So, like, my ascent out was just as bad as the descent in. We get through to Waco, and I finally see blue skies. And our pilot comes on and goes, now we'll have a smooth ride. We'll get that drink service going. And everyone's like, yeah.
I got home 36 hours after I was supposed to be home.
Everybody driving beat both of you.
Yes.
And I think everybody driving has beaten both of you 2 years in a row, and Bird 3 years in a row.
Oh yeah, this is Bird and I's our second adventure together, flying American.
Well,
Tour Travels
24 was certainly an experience to remember from every angle, every shot, every hand at the blackjack table, every hand pay that Sherman got in the casino. It was awesome. It is time for a video, and we can kick back and watch a video play. And it's going to scroll through everybody's photo dumps that they had into the Facebook page. And MD put together a video for us to kick back and watch. We'll come back from that, and we will talk about Northern Hills for just a second, and we'll wrap up and go around the room. That was Greg Keogh's stack right there for sure. Oh, MD bowling.
That's bowling. Sultan's Run. Colonel. Nice.
I could watch that over and over again. Music guy.
And that's a small percentage of the pictures that we have.
Hopefully we can get that 8-minuter to load up on the Facebook page.
I will
MD,
certainly try.
Awesome Tour Travels trip. Tour Travels 2024 in the books. The point standings have reset.
Before we jump into that, do we want to announce 2025 Tour Travels?
Oh my goodness.
Do you
Yes.
want to do that? I mean, I'm fine with.
So, Tour Travels is its own division. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. And you all, once you become a Tour Travels guest, it is yours. That spot belongs to you until you relinquish it. So, these 20 guests will get right of first refusal. They'll get an exclusive registration window for Tour
With an
Travels
exclusive
25.
price.
Yes, exactly. Right? It is a right of first refusal exclusivity for Tour Travels 2025. So these 20 will get the month of July.
We are proud and happy to announce that in 2025, Tour Travels returns home to Destination Kohler, spring of 2025.
Yeah.
Jason and I are working on the final details with Destination Kohler as we speak. But our entourage that we call Tour Travels returns to Wisconsin next spring. 5 nights, 7 rounds, world-class everything of everything. Kohler's Kohler, and it can't be compared to anything else. I had an hour-long conversation with Micah about that today. And Jason and I are wrapping up the final touches on 2025, and we hope to have that exclusive window out to 2024 guests starting July 1st.
Correct.
Boom. Yeah, excited.
I mean,
that's what literally everyone's like, love French Lick. It's really great experience. We love Kohler.
Yeah, and that's it. And I was having this conversation with Jason earlier this afternoon. I know I talked about it briefly with MD and Micah earlier. I think that it certainly, look at the comments blow up right now. Greg Graff, Scott Williams, Micah Carroll, I'm in. Kohler, yes. And I legitimately believe that there may not be general public slots in 2025. I don't think this one will get to. There were 4 general spots for French Lick, but I don't think we'll get to Kohler.
If for some reason there are general spots and if you have a chance to sign up, if for some reason there are open slots and you don't sign up, I mean, and you can do it. I mean, sign up. Like it's just the dumbest thing in the world to not sign up for. It is
that the tour has with Kohler is friendship. It's not resort customer or even golf course. It's family. It's friendship. It's kinship. It's perfect.
And on top of it, it's an absolutely gorgeous place. I mean, it's gorgeous. I'm not talking about just Kohler. I'm talking about that part of Wisconsin is just absolutely beautiful.
I agree with Scott Williams.
What'd he say? Oh, yeah.
Quite literally for Travis, but
yes,
Scott Williams, we do.
It will be Memorial Day week again, Sunday to Friday.
It's the 25th through the 30th of May, 2025.
And all of that information will come out to the 2024 guests first. And that target goal is July 1st for the entire month of July for exclusivity.
Awesome. Well, Trav, let's talk a little bit about summer season kickoff and what's going on there. What do we got coming up?
Woo! Yes, Tour Travels is officially in the books. The point standings have reset.
And in 3 days, 11 hours, 13 minutes, and 45 seconds, the summer season will kick off at Northern Hills this Sunday with our 8 o'clock shotgun start. Over 130 golfers are currently tied for first place in the point standings.
Yeah, that's accurate.
That is accurate. Everybody's T1 right now.
Summer season kickoff on the Alamo City Golf Trail Division starts
This week Sunday at Northern Hills. Event 2 open for registration. There are currently 2 events open for registration on the Greater Hill Country Division, which is officially halfway through its first season, marching towards the playoffs and TPC. We already have 3 players and a sponsor selection on the South Texas Match Play Challenge team for this year. And super excited to march towards the TPC Greater Hill Country Division playoffs. Will be the next 2 players that qualify for the team will come from the Greater Hill Country Division. Lots of events opening for registration this coming week. All of the July events will open up. www.stxamtour.golf for everything that is tour. First notice to players coming out tomorrow night for the summer season kickoff at Northern Hills. Remember, 8 o'clock shotgun. Everybody knows their tee time already. So,
Except for maybe Mike Sherman.
Well, yes, exactly. Yes. Love them 3 a.m. text messages. Love them. But 8 o'clock shotgun this Sunday. First notice to players tomorrow. Danoski, Graf, and Willie Nichols are on the South Texas Match Play Challenge team, and they are playing the summer season free and easy.
That's Greg.
Yeah.
Free and easy.
Free and easy.
Not free, literally. They still got to pay.
Not free. That's why I said free and easy. I tried to say it fast like it was hyphenated. You know?
Greg Graff does not give free entry fees.
Especially not from the goddamn senior tees.
I know. MD, kicking it back to you. We talked about tour travels for a little bit longer than we had planned, but it was rock star content, so I didn't want to shut it down. So let's shut it down now.
Well, guys, that is all we have for you tonight. Glad to be home from tour travels. I personally go back to work tomorrow. I don't remember what I do for a living, so we're going to try and figure that out in the morning. And we're excited to kick off the 2024 summer season.
I know.
I was just typing 2025
I don't know
tour
what fucking
travel
year
stuff
it is.
all over the place.
It's going to be hot as shit this summer, people. We're tired of people. We're
Prepare,
tired of you guys. Tired of you guys stroking out on the course, not from shitty golf, but from bad heat exhaustion prep.
No long sleeves.
Bring water
no
bottles.
pants, don't wear black. Drink water. Bring electrolytes.
Golf cart is
Yes.
included in the tournament registration fee.
Yes.
Ride a
Like-
golf cart.
like,
Load up on
be-
water and Gatorade and nuts and fruit.
D's nuts.
Good.
Be considerate of
Max.
pace of play. No one wants to wait behind you while you're getting taken care of by a medic.
Whoa.
Right? We live
saying.
in South
Pace of play.
Texas. We live in South Texas. We talk about this every year. That stuff, those conversations started a couple weeks ago at Riverside. It's hot out already. The tour will do its best to coordinate with the golf courses to put as much
If I
water
might
out there as
stand.
we can. So, by all means, prepare. You cannot physically drink enough water. You can't do it. You can't physically drink enough water. The minute you know you're thirsty, you're past it. So, start bottles of water from the beginning, pound it, cooling towels, prepare. Prepare. We know it's going to be hot. Use the golf cart. Bring a cooler full of ice. Who cares if there's any beverages in it? Just bring the cooler full of ice.
Bring a bottle of pickle juice.
Absolutely.
Pickle juice.
Prepare. It's going to be hot. Yes. Try drowning.
I believe that to be accurate. Guys, that's all we have for you tonight. 2024 summer season kicks off. It's going to be huge. Danny Puckett, good call. Start drinking a shit ton of water 2 days before. Go get an IV. Go do whatever you need to do for
I think
heat
doesn't
stress.
Casey
prep,
do
and
those
management.
IV bar things? He loves those things.
You certainly can. They are certainly useful. If you have questions about heat stress prep, come ask me. I deal with this stuff all day at work. But be prepared for the heat. It's going to suck. That's the people who make it on the team during the summer season are the people who managed their hydration the best during the season. They played well, but they managed their hydration.
Absolutely.
So can't say enough good things about that. Guys, that's all we got for you tonight. We will get the video up of Tour Travels. We'll get some more pictures out for everybody to see and experience. And we will have, as Travis said, we will have the 666 first notice to players coming out tomorrow night. Be on the lookout for that email with the full breakdown of everything you need to know about the event. It's going to be super fun, super exciting, and a great way to kick off the season.
Well,
Anything else, guys? Any
I look
final
forward to
thoughts?
seeing you all. Good luck.
Top 3 in the summer season make the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. The top 50 in the summer season join the top 50 from the spring season in the fall Trail Division playoffs. Those playoffs round out the South Texas Match Play Challenge team, which competes against HAGA, the Houston Amateur Golf Association, this year, November 10th and 11th at Riverside Golf Course.
Yep.
Northern Hills starts that summer season this week, Sunday. First notice tomorrow.
Micah Carroll, final thoughts?
Love you
I got
guys.
thoughts.
Love the trip.
Oh, God.
It's great. Beautiful courses. Looking forward to Kohler next year. Travis, hell of a job. Well done. Another successful tour travels trip. And
Only 354 days until Kohler.
That is for Tour Travels, correct? Yes.
Correctamundo. I'll be there sooner, but I was talking about Tour Travels.
We will be there sooner. It's going to be great.
Well, guys, thanks for watching tonight. MD, back to you to wrap it up.
Guys, everyone, thank you so much for watching tonight. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Tour Travels is going to be opening up again to all of the people who have attended previous years. Be on the lookout. Potential spots coming up for some openings for non-Tour Travels guests from previous years. So be on the lookout for that as the year goes by. And we're kicking off the summer season. It's going to be intense. It's going to be fun. Points up for grabs. And we got a whole new season ahead of us, and it's going to be a fight to the death. So looking forward to it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and everyone have a great evening. We will see you this Sunday.
Thanks for watching, y'all.